Hey sailors, welcome to the crew. I'm Sailor Agenda, and this is my Let's Play of Rule the Waves 3 as Great Britain. We've just had a brief period of peace after a war with Italy, which Germany entered at the last moment, and we now find ourselves, after more of a truce than a true peace, back at war with Nazi Germany once again in the late 1940s. And that didn't take long. Okay, it's October of 1947, and we are at war with Nazi Germany once again. Our previous war with them was kind of abortive, but it's in earnest now. So first of all, Grimsby, Harwich, Portsmouth, and Stavanger all are maxed out, and you all have 100 aircraft? You do not. Okay, what do we put in here? Do we keep normal fighters, or do we switch to light jet? Let's see, light jet are grossly faster, but shorter ranged. Also have way more firepower, but less maneuverability, and are tougher. The shorter range is noticeable, especially on light loadout. At heavy loadout, it's actually advantage to the jets. I think we're going to switch all these air bases over to light jet fighters. And then let's see, patrol aircraft, torpedo bombers, dive bombers. What else? More torpedo bombers or more dive bombers? Let me look at the aircraft stats right quick. They are both capable of carrying medium air-to-surface missiles, although... Do we actually have air-to-surface missiles? I don't think so. We only have surface-to-surface missiles. And they're not really in service yet. For this precise moment, I think I'm going to go with dive bombers. I think this is a moment in time when dive bombers are pretty effective. I wish there was a smart way to easily copy-paste. Because if you copy-paste, it deletes all the, it deletes all the existing units. It would be nice if it would be smart enough to just overwrite the ones that have actually changed. You have... oh. Okay, anywhere else desperately need changes? I mean, Plymouth... eh. The carriers are all operational, at least. I don't think any of our colonial bases I'm going to worry about. Ooh. Do we put jets on the carriers? I think we need to, yes. Oh, but that does put them over capacity for the older ones. Didn't really think about that now. Okay, no. We're not fully equipped for it yet. Just stick with fighters. No, that just cost us veterancy levels on them. Yeah, I didn't think about that, but that's the thing, yeah, so... Stick with fighters. Hopefully the Germans won't be using jet fighters. They might. I mean, the Germans are... Unlike the Italians, who are not that advanced, the Germans are one of the three biggest tech powers with us in the USA. And apparently right now Germany has the largest naval budget. Although their tonnage is still just behind Japan and way behind the USA, but... Okay, so the fleet. Let me smash this mobilization button. Fleet is all in home waters. with the exception of the colonial cruisers, which is fine. You guys, by the way, foreign station, and let's just make sure you are all in colonial cruiser divisions. Perfect. Okay. Oh wait, was that CL and not colonial? Oh, fourth colonial cruiser is still taken up by the Minervas. Problematic. I'm gonna decommission the Minervas as soon as these last two Canadas are worked up, because I think they're basically just walking targets at the moment. Minus 92. Okay. You know what? These are worked up as much as all the others anyway. Straight on to foreign stations. Go. This is an emergency wartime measure anyway. Yes, actually, but... Oh. Wrong ones. Okay, all of you... Fourth colonial. Good. Alright, colonial cruisers are arranged. All the other ships are arranged, although it's a little... weird, actually, but... Oh, I know why that's like that, but... Pretty sure these guys are too. Okay. Our battleships are currently in dock undergoing rebuild, but it'll only be for one turn, and then the newest battleships will all be ready. We do need to definitely avoid a fleet action this turn, because the Collingwoods and Rodneys are not going to cut it. The good news is Germany has literally just decommissioned practically all of their battleships, and they now only have 4, which are Prinz Regent Luitpold, 9 14s, and a 15-inch belt. I mean, durable, yes. A powerful, powerful combatant, but not a match for our latest stuff. Tirpitz, 9 16s, 24 knots, and a 13-inch belt. Also stronger than a Collingwood or Rodney, but not a match for a Revenge or Resolution. Pommern. How the hell does this place displace 59,000 tons? I think it's because she makes 30 knots, which is really expensive still for a battleship. Otherwise, she's very powerful. I mean, she probably has like a 5-inch deck, so it's a very strong new combatant, but I'm actually not that terrified of her, considering she's 59,000 tons. And Schleswig-Holstein, I have no idea what the hell they're doing here. This is like a fast battleship, but they forgot to put good guns on her, so she's not actually very scary. She is both very fast and very well armored, but 9 12-inch guns is just not that good. The Bismarcks are real scary, but yeah. Oh, and then for carriers, we're looking at... They've got a lot of heavy cruisers, but the good news is only the 3 newest Kiel class, which are scary, to be fair, with 1210s. But those are the only ones that outgun our heavy cruisers, which all have 10 9-inch guns, so we're not doing that badly there. Plenty of CLs. Some of them do outgun us. The Bonn class, especially, are quite large and heavily armed. Carrier-wise, bit of a mix. Well, we got the Graf Zeppelins, 67 aircraft. And then the Peter Strassers, 68 aircraft. And then the, or 40, oh, it's 68 regular and 43 with jets, I think, is probably what's happening there. Then the Grunaus, which are 75 regular or 49 with jets. I think we're going to fight this war with piston aircraft on the carriers. Maybe I'll regret, oops, we do need to change that. Maybe I'll regret that, but seems right. Okay, 25 ships onto trade protection. Everybody's basically in Northern Europe except the colonial ships. Yes. Okay, that's where we need to be. We will, if we can get an advantage, then we'll try to pick off Angola and Cameroon, but those are the only two German colonies, so we need to focus on Northern Europe first and foremost. Battleship engagement in the Faroes Passage, huh? We're gonna have to decline. It's suicidal. We have to wait one turn for our battleships to appear. Damn it, McCulloch, what the hell? We're gonna sack him after this battle. So we're getting Tiger and Lion, which is nice. And then Majestic and Rodney as the battle division, along with heavy cruisers, light cruisers, the carriers, Furious and Courageous, with their own light cruiser and destroyer force. We have 3 more big carriers with the coastal force. Nope, make that the other 6 carriers are all with the coastal force, along with a lot more cruisers and destroyers. Well, we have no chance to decline, but I do think we probably just need to run. Let's see here. So is this the carrier force? Yes. This is where the other 6 carriers all are. That's fine. Up here we have Majestic, Rodney, and Lion and Tiger, with several carriers. I assume at dawn we're going to spot the enemy. No? Not instantly. And nothing from the planes either. Weird. It's not full light out, but it's getting there. I would at least expect the planes to have made a sighting report. I mean, I think we probably just have to run, but it does depend what we sight. If they don't have a lot of carriers with them, we could get lucky enough to flatten them with a good airstrike. Speaking of which, it's all the way up here. Let's get together a big airstrike straight away. Okay, 2nd Division. Your target will be here-ish. Ready. Division 7. Which is just Ark Royal. Ready. 1st Division, which is Irresistible and Glorious. Okay, we're already over deck load, apparently. Ready. Not a lot of fighter escort here. Maybe I need to provide a stronger one. Let's get some fighters to go with this one. Just a little bit of an escort. Ready. Okay. We should have coordinated strikes and everything. I'm pretty sure we do, so. Now the question is just where actually are the enemy? Because I see nothing so far. Also, just so I know, 260 miles to Reykjavik, 350 to Scapa Flow. Okay, Reykjavik is our fallback point. What? I gotta read this whole... Okay. Oh, one of our recon aircraft found them and died. If I was paying more attention, I would know which recon aircraft had just fallen off the screen. Actually, he just got damaged. Which one of you is it then? You should be making a report. Aha. Dead ahead. 1 BB, 1 CL, 4 DD. I'll be honest, somehow I doubt that, but the good news is freshly rebuilt Majestic and Rodney do make 24 knots, which isn't exactly spectacular, but it's kind of respectable at least. So they aren't necessarily hopelessly unable to run away. They are from battle cruisers, but well, that's all not actually true though, is it? Germany having just scrapped all their ships, they have, well, no. See, 2 out of their 4 dreadnoughts only make 24 knots. They only have, and honestly, Schleswig-Holstein, heavy armor or no, I think Majestic and Rodney pound Schleswig-Holstein into scrap. 9 12-inch guns is just not enough. Not against 16 14-inch guns. So Pommern is the only battleship we have to worry about in that sense of chasing us down and destroying us. Even then, we could take her. I mean, it depends what the battle generation wanted to do. If it's 2 German battleships, the worst combination is Pommern and Tirpitz, and even then, if they stay together, we should be able to at least run away. If they've got 2 Bismarcks to match our 2 Tigers, that's a pretty even fight, honestly. 8 17s, it depends what their deck armor is, but 8 17s and 30 knots against 9 16s and 32 knots. And I don't know how much deck armor either one has, but I will launch an airstrike at the first. Well, you know what? Maybe we ought to be a little preemptive about this, huh? Target is there-ish, eh? 170 nautical miles. That's in everybody's range, even with a heavy load. So launch. 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 Okay. Our scouts better be right about this. Why am I having the battlecruisers get so far ahead of Majestic and Rodney? Well, I guess they haven't yet, but the carriers should probably hang back a little more, but oh well. What's the range anyway? It's still 65 nautical miles from our battleships to the enemy, so maybe we should go to a nice 20-knot cruising speed. We got all day. Let the carriers try to hit them, huh? There's round 1 of the strike. The others are on the way, but they're going to take longer. These guys are going to go in first, I assume. They coordinate within the division, but not as a whole. Looks like they found something up there. Such as the enemy cap, but hard to say whether that'll stop us or not. It's certainly causing some damage, but that's inevitable. Looks like right there is where we're aiming roughly, or here-ish. That is now only 36 nautical miles from us, so let's take a little turn to starboard and keep cruising. A lot of contact reports, not a lot of reports of hitting anything, I have to say. There we go. They didn't do too much. Good, good. What, friendly aircraft? Not one of those squadrons? We're definitely not in range of any land-based aircraft. These reports are such a mess that it's hardly even worth... I mean, the pilots lie. They lie so hard. Radar contact, though. Multiple radar contacts dead ahead. And it looks like the other airstrike is, yeah. That's the other airstrike showing up just off to our port. Is it the whole thing? Or some of it's ahead of us already. Well, for sure that's a major enemy formation. So, let's kick it up to 32 knots. And let's swing a bit to port. Then prepare to engage. The good news is I don't... Okay. Wow, our planes have missiles? I didn't actually realize we were carrying missiles. Okay, I'm seeing what looks like a 3-ship battle line. Which is alright, because I have a 4-ship battle line, if I could coordinate them. Which I should probably do. They are also under air attack right now, and we actually aren't, for whatever reason. So that will favor us. This is going to be a bit of a mess, notification-wise. Torpedo, missile. I mean, we're certainly landing some hits. The pilots will lie a lot, but we're certainly landing some hits amongst this. I mean, we better be. I don't think these early surface to, or air-to-surface missiles do much against capital ships, but heck, they gotta do something, superstructure-wise at least. We definitely timed this airstrike right, pretty much by coincidence, but I mean, this is perfect with it landing right as our capital ships are getting in range, and their airstrike nowhere to be seen, and that right there is Pommern, the scariest German dreadnought. 59,000 tons, 8 15-inch guns in 4 twin turrets, 12.5-inch belt, 4.5-inch deck. On the other hand, do you know what, honestly? Lion and Tiger have a 12-inch belt and 4-inch deck, so that's barely less armor than a Pommern. And they make 32 knots, which is a knot faster, at least. And they have 9 16-inch guns. So it's a little weird because Lion and Tiger are 12,000 tons lighter, but I'm not really seeing why Lion and Tiger can't kick Pommern's ass. Half an inch of armor is something, but not that much. I would actually say 9 16-inch guns versus 8 15-inch is worth more than 4.5 versus 4 inches of deck. Okay, and they've got Wurth behind there, which is... I thought they'd scrapped all those. They have, officially. Maybe it's Prince Regent Leutpold, or else my intel is way off on this. I don't know what's up with the alleged Wurth-class battleship. These are supposedly all scrapped now, but... Okay, Majestic and Rodney are opening fire. We're going to turn to keep the range open, because it's actually only 15,000 yards now. Okay, that's Tirpitz, which is at least a ship they actually have in service. I don't know what the alleged Wurth is. I do know we are handing Pommern's ass to it so far, which is outstanding news. 16-inch hits. 16-inch hits. Tirpitz hit by a torpedo, reportedly. 4 bomb hits on a light cruiser, allegedly. Okay, those were 5-inch hits. Those, oh, but a 14-inch from Majestic. 16-inch on Tirpitz. 14-inch on Tirpitz. Pommern is suiciding right now. Actually, though, what the hell is she doing? I mean, she's panicking under the air attack and all, but this is just beautiful. What is Pommern doing? She's sailing into the teeth of 18 16-inch guns. And 16 14-inch guns. And she's just... I mean, she has to be being annihilated. What are all these identifications? Oh wait, Zaringen is one of the ones they actually have. Yes, okay. I think that's the proper identification for the one they were calling was a Furth. But she is very well armored. But not that scary. Tirpitz seems to be going in circles. Okay, it's all 4 of their battleships. It is. Which is scary. But on the other hand, we have barely taken any damage so far ourselves. And Pommern is just getting pummeled right now. Oh, she's dead in the water. We just killed Germany's best battleship. What a way to start the war. Dunking on those Nazis. Okay, that's not great. Okay, Zaringen is hit bad. Tirpitz is definitely hit bad, too. She's moving, at least, but... Well, and now, though... What's left? Pommern... Tirpitz has their biggest guns, but she's hit kind of bad. Zaringen is the next biggest. Schleswig-Holstein I'm kind of going to ignore because those 12-inch guns are just garbage. So... it's one of the Bond-class cruisers. Those are kind of scary, but... carriers, how are you doing? Have we recovered our aircraft yet? I don't really think so, mostly, but that's fine. Victorious, get together what you've got. I don't know, dive bombers, torpedo bombers, torpedo bombers. Yeah, that's not even close to a full deck load, so we'll put in a large cap, too. What the heck? Can I check every box on here? No, that puts Illustrious over deck load. That's fine. Target is going to be here. Get ready. Oh. I see. We don't have enough ASMs left to arm all the dive bombers. Is that who was using ASMs? It is, apparently. Hold on, you guys. Should still get ready, but just not with ASMs, surely. Yeah, I get that, but how do I... Interesting. How do I tell them to just... I mean, they have bombs still. Use the 500-pound bombs, or the 1,000-pound bombs even at this range. And don't worry about the missiles. Okay, that's not helpful. Interesting. Never really had to finagle with this before. I don't actually know how to adjust the type of missiles they're carrying. Somebody's gonna yell the answer to this at me in the comments. could push that button too. Although that doesn't seem to take fighters with, so that's kind of unhelpful. Yeah, and it still doesn't actually fix the problem either. Oh, maybe it did. Seems like pretty much everything's preparing now. Except for these dive bombers. I would like you guys to get ready. Is it because you're trying? Is it because we're not exactly out, or what? Oh, here we go. Okay. Found it. There we go. I think everything should be preparing now. Good. You guys, torpedo bombers, dive bombers, fighters, fighters. Ready. Yes, I know, you don't have enough ASM. That's fine. Who's not readying? You guys. Switch to heavy bombs. Ready. You guys, that's not actually very many planes, but ready up anyway. You guys. Okay. New airstrike is being prepared. We are currently, ooh, lasso. No, you're fine. Zoringen and Schleswig-Holstein are getting pulverized right now. I mean, Rodney and Majestic are just... You know, they might be old. Majestic is down 2 turrets. But damn, they're not useless yet. Astonishing how much better the 14-inch gunships held up than the 12-inch gunships. Also astonishing that in 1937, Germany decided to design a brand new ship with 12-inch guns as a main armament. Guys, it literally does not matter if you have a 14-inch belt and 4-inch deck. First of all, that's not objectively that great of armor. My new battleships have better armor than that. And second of all, 9 12-inch guns. Zoringen... Pommern has just plunged to the bottom already. That's her remains there. Zoringen is dead in the water. Schleswig-Holstein is hit bad. Tirpitz is still moving pretty good. Which is unfortunate, because she's the second scariest German dreadnought. Maybe even the scariest, really. Honestly, didn't Pommern have 12-inch belt, 4.5-inch deck? Or 12.5 and 4.5? In an actual slugging match, and she had 8 15s. Tirpitz here has 9 16s, 13-inch belt, 5.5-inch deck. In an actual slugging match, Tirpitz is actually nastier than Pommern. It's just Pommern sacrificed a ton in order to get 6 more knots of speed. Which I understand there are good purposes for, but... Okay, I can't see... Where's the button? There is a button somewhere to... Are there any reports that I need to see? The carriers are up here. That is relevant. With the battle cruisers. That's very relevant. Honestly, we don't want to go anywhere near that with any surface ships. We can't afford to fight 3 battle cruisers after having fought their battleships. That said, could I delete all of the other reports, perhaps? Also, to be fair, a lot of the initial reports said that the carriers were here, but I do not see them here. I think they were lying. I suspect they are actually up there. However, those reports are an hour and a half outdated, so they're probably not that important. Let's go ahead and delete all of those so that I can see what the hell's happening. Schleswig-Holstein is staggering. Oh, there is a destroyer in our path. See, this is why I wanted to delete the reports, because I cannot see possible enemy destroyers under all the piles of alleged information. Zottingen is dead. Don't worry about her, guys. Focus fire on Tirpitz and on Schleswig-Holstein. Okay. I'm pretty sure that destroyer was dead anyway, but she's real dead now. Someone just planted a... It was actually a 5-inch gun that detonated her magazine, but it would be funnier if it was a 16-inch gun at 3,000 yards range. Okay, Tirpitz is now the big prize. Schleswig-Holstein might be dead anyway. And even if she's not, she's... Ooh. That was aerial, I think. Yeah, I don't see any destroyer that could have done it. I think that was aerial. She'll probably be alright, although Majestic is significantly damaged now. For sure, their counter-strike is coming in hard now. There's a lot of dive bombers and torpedo bombers targeting us, but, well, actually... The only cap anywhere nearby is these 9 fighters over here by the carriers. That is not gonna cut it. I want to move cap up to heavy, but it doesn't really matter. I don't think they're going to escort the battleships properly when they're this far away. Sure, what the heck. Probably can't hurt. The good news is they're kind of going after the older and smaller portion of the force. I mean, Lion and Tiger are unmolested so far. A lot of them are going after the heavy cruisers up here, which, yes, they're expensive, but they're not anywhere near as expensive as the capital ships, so... I'll accept it. Rodney is kind of in an awkward position. An awkward position in which she's hammering Schleswig-Holstein, hopefully. I think Zottringen is not shooting, so it should be fine. Do I turn in more? Yeah, let's go for it. We don't want to let Tirpitz get to the extremes of our range. We don't actually have that much ammunition left, so... Yeah, exactly. Okay, I think Zottringen was dead anyway, but it appears Nemesis Rifleman and Oak have taken it upon themselves to finish her off, for which I am grateful. Schleswig-Holstein is dead. Tirpitz is the last one standing. HMS Rodney? This could have been an actual World War II battle, Rodney versus Tirpitz, although... The actual HMS Rodney would have had a somewhat better chance than this Rodney. That's alright. We're gonna win it anyway. Mostly because of Lion Tiger onrushing to assist. Oof, the bombs are plastering us with 6-inch fire, but they are gonna do superstructure damage. There's no way their 6-inch punches through our belt, so it's fine. They could distract us and reduce our accuracy, though. We need to hit the Tirpitz hard on this pass, basically. Ooh, a missile, huh? Okay, the Germans also have missiles. I figured they weren't at much tech disadvantage, not like the Italians, but... Oh. That could have been from a destroyer, actually. We got a little close. On the other hand, with her torpedo defense, she just, Well, Captain Rogers must be good. I don't think I've ever seen this skillful salvo chasing evades enemy fire thing before. I don't read the logs in total detail, but that's interesting. Rogers is above average, and wily. Yeah, there are destroyers trying to make runs on us. It was probably one of them. There are aircraft around, but I think they're all getting distracted by our heavy cruisers up there. Okay. We're taking some damage from this air attack, but it's not exactly... Whoa. Apparently they found the carriers. Although Courageous did a good job of dodging all of those, but our cap, hello? It's just 8 dive bombers found the carriers, but apparently they caught the cap pretty off guard there. Somehow. Unless there were like 16 to start with, but... Alright, I think Schleswig-Holstein was dead anyway, but she's real dead now. Now the question is... finishing off Tirpitz. 15 knots is her current speed. We can definitely run her down. However, we are terribly low on ammunition. In fact, 2 out of 3 guns on Tiger are out of ammo, and... what is the order here? One of Lion's turrets is down to only HE. One of them is off-screen because of being disabled, which doesn't help either. So basically we're very, very low on ammo, and Rodney is also looks like she's pretty much down to... She has 5 AP rounds left, and one of her forward turrets is gone. So it's not going to be that easy to finish Tirpitz off. She's hurt bad, though. We just need, wow. Our destroyers have actually done pretty good work finishing off the ships we've damaged, but they are not near the fight. Oh, except for these 2. In fact, what the hell are you 2 doing? Screening, I guess, but honestly, turn around. Don't engage the whole damn German fleet. Oh, lag all of a sudden there. Oh. Missile? That hurt. Yeah, we can't sustain being under this air attack forever, but... Also, I don't know why we're getting all this lag all of a sudden. It was fine until a second ago. Oh, Sussex. Where is Sussex? Up here, no? Oh yeah, there she is. These are alright, but the air attacks are not gonna stop. Until we, get out of range, so... We need to finish Tirpitz off and get out of here, is what I'm trying to say. Oh, she's dead in the water. Yes, sir. Lasso, would you care to torpedo? You are a destroyer. There's a stationary battleship 3,000 yards off your starboard aft now, but it was your bow a second ago. Schleswig-Holstein has gone to the bottom. Majestic is about to link back up with Rodney. Come on, let's fire a goddamn torpedo. It's not that complicated. Don't just shell the ship with 5-inch guns. You're destroyers. I mean, I'm pretty sure Tirpitz is dead anyway, but like... It would be nice to hit her with a few torpedoes, no? Oh, here comes our entire flotilla of cruisers. Wait, don't some of you have torpedoes too? Yes. Liverpool. Why don't you come execute the coup de grace? Since the destroyers are too stubborn. Oh, wait, there we go. Never mind, I think that about covers it. Right. let's get the hell out of here. Back to the carriers, so we can get under some cap. And then we'll have the carriers fall back towards the other carriers, so we can really get under some cap. What's the latest sighting report on additional ships? Up there. Do I want to gun for them? You know what? You know what's way more likely to succeed? And I know the target location and all that. Ooh. It's fine. Let's just blow these light cruisers to pieces. They don't really have any cap. They've got very limited AA of their own. They're gonna suffer bigly when a proper airstrike comes in on them. I don't know if you're that's so safe of you, actually, Crusader. Maybe you should get out of there, huh? Uh-oh. 7 dive bombers incoming. We should turn back and cover Crusader real quick, actually. I guess I authorized her to recover casualties, and yeah, she's not doing well. Rodney hit by a bomb. She'll be alright. Owl hit by a missile. That's gonna hurt. I don't know where Owl is, to be honest. But missiles aren't great for destroyers, usually. Oh hey, one shark showed up to act as cap. Apparently we're close enough to the carriers for that. How lovely. Does Majestic have ammo at least? She must, right? Yes, some. I mean, she has one turret out, but she has enough ammo to scare off the bombs, I think. And sure enough, they're turning away. I don't know if the Crusader's gonna make it anyway. She has pretty complete structural damage, but... Oh god, Majestic is the command ship. Everybody's turning back towards her. No. This way, lads. This way. Rodney is steaming off into the distance for some reason. Okay. Like I said, those guys don't have a whole lot of AA of their own, so hopefully we nail at least a few hits on them. They're also pretty maneuverable targets, but you'd think we gotta get a few hits, right? I don't know, head vaguely this way, I don't... Oh, here's the big mass. Yeah, we gotta pick up Courageous and Furious, and then, they are attached, they're just smart enough to go away when we, get close to enemy ships. So I think we turn this way now. Link up with the main carrier formation. And fall back towards Reykjavik. Hopefully we're getting some hits right now. It's kind of hard to say. And there's one. That was the only hit we got. It's not exactly an impressive showing, but probably not. 2 dive bombers. Someone care to shoot those down? Well, friendly sharks are shooting down torpedo bombers somewhere. They dive bombed Cornwall and didn't hit anything. Good. Now who? 3 dive bombers. And they launched missiles at Majestic. And got shot down. Well done, the Cap. A little late, but... Also, I just saw TB Botha Recon, like, in the middle of our fleet, so if the Cap would like to deal with that also, that'd be great. I did move Cap up to heavy. It's not... I mean, we lost some fighters on our missions, and they're still not rearmed and stuff, so... It's not that spectacular a Cap, really, but, it'll do. Oh, wow, Nightfall. We've been fighting all day, apparently. I didn't realize that. Well, that is handy. The AI is often much better at night operations than me, but, in the sense that they straight up cheat at night, but, oof. That's actually just random bad luck. It's only dusk, and they were clearly already targeting us, but, wow. 3 dive bombs into Victorious, huh? Good thing for that armored deck. Any damage to the carriers we take, we definitely haven't responded to, but it doesn't really matter as long as we don't actually lose any. Do I have actual command of one of you? Yeah. Head that way. We're headed for Reykjavik. Well, we don't even have the option for night air operations, so yeah. If our fleet was fresh, I would try to chase down the enemy carriers with our battlecruisers, but... Although Tiger and Lion didn't actually take that much damage, they are pretty much fully out of ammunition, so... Fighting the German battlecruisers at this point would be suicide. Anyway, I think we've done enough for one battle. We just literally wiped out Nazi Germany's battlecruiser force at one decisive stroke. Battleship force, that is. Did I say battlecruiser? And you know, I don't even know if we've lost a single ship. There might be a destroyer or two that won't make it, but... Nope, they all made it. What? And apparently, our carriers did some work that I didn't quite notice. Holy hell, what a victory. Sailors today, at the cost of 2 destroyers, a light cruiser, and 2 battleships badly damaged, and the rest of the fleet basically unhurt, we sank 6 destroyers, 2 fleet carriers, and 4 battleships. That is 6 Nazi capital ships gone in the first battle of the war, and they failed their objective to sink 2 ships any ship. Also, I lost 51 planes to their 173. Bearing in mind most of their losses were on sunken ships, they would have been at, what, 55? 64 to our 51 otherwise, which is pretty even. We lost a lot more to AA fire. They did very badly in air-to-air combat because of attacks on our cap. So let's look at the details here. Apparently we had 1 submarine and they had 1 submarine. How impressive. I mean, the vast majority, how much total did they have? They did have all 4 battle cruisers back with the carriers. I'm guessing it was much like my display deployment in that I had 6 carriers further back and 2 with the battleships, and I sank the 2 that were with the battleships. But fortunately, my battle cruisers were with the forward force and not stuck back with the carriers. And we made that count a whole lot. So let's see here. No damage, no damage, no damage. I mean, they do have Koblenz, Grafspee, Bismarck, and von der Tann all unengaged, along with carriers Europa, Moltke, Prim, Zelsonia, Grunau, and Kratzeberg. So their whole secondary force, which you can see is up here, ended up unengaged, as did functionally our carriers, though, the second force of them. Didn't Illustrious get hit, or was that one of the other ones? Must have been a different one. Oh, Victorious, yeah. Most of our carrier force was basically unengaged as well. Light damage to, light damage to a lot more of our ships, but that's totally fine. That's inconsequential. Light damage, well, for every ship we have light damage, they have a ship sunk. Let's see here. Let's see, what did aerial attack do? Oof. 1 missile hit on Owl here, took out a turret, and absolutely flattened her structurally, but no flotation damage at all, so it's fine. Almost here suffered an engine breakdown, which was her only problem. Damn it, you're a brand new ship, Comus. Come on. Norfolk hit by a 2,000-pound bomb from an FI-142. We hit Hindenburg, apparently, with 2 500-pound bombs from Typhoons off of Glorious. So there were carriers with that light cruiser force. Maybe even more than just the 2 that we sank. Damaged Hindenburg slightly. The Z-74 here was hit by a 500-pound bomb from a torpedo off of Courageous. Then a missile from a Typhoon off of Illustrious. And that sank her even before she got hit by another missile from a Typhoon off of Formidable. So this ship sunk entirely by air attack. Mind you, this is a 1,300-ton destroyer, but it's a success. Crusader, our worst damaged ship after I accidentally almost left her behind while rescuing survivors. 6-inch and 4-inch from the bones did do some damage to her, but she came through intact. Berwick, hit by a missile, but perfectly okay. Balm, hit by a 16-inch and a 14-inch, as well as a 500-pound bomb. Not exactly perfectly okay, but she'll survive. Z-32 hit a mine late at night. Sank 4 hours later. That's rough. Bad luck for her. 1,700-ton destroyer, though. Z-147 hit by a near miss from a 500-pound bomb from a Typhoon off Victorious. Immediately followed by a 1,000-pound bomb direct to the engine room from a Typhoon off of Ark Royal, and although she repaired the engines, she sank 25 minutes later from flooding. Z-158. Some 5-inch fire exchanged with secondaries off of Lion. Hit by a 500-pound bomb from a Typhoon off of Ark Royal, and then a torpedo from a Baltha B off of Victorious. Are Balthas mine? I thought Balthas were their type. Either that's wrong or I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Castle here, hit by a torpedo. Okay, it must be Balthas are my type. My bad. Torpedoes. A torpedo from a Baltha off of Victorious. Sussex took a torpedo hit from a FI-142 off of Hindenburg. Z-87, 1,700-ton destroyer, hit by a near-miss 500-pound bomb, 1 5-inch from Lion, and then a 500-pound bomb from a Typhoon off of Formidable, straight to the engine room, 1,000-pound near-miss, sank 30 minutes later from flooding. Z-82, another 1,700-ton destroyer, hit by a missile from a Typhoon off of Formidable, failed to limit flooding due to disorganized crew, got wrecked by 5-inch off of Lion and Tiger, and this is the one that blew up. Bad luck for her. Ingolstadt hit by a missile off a Typhoon from Ark Royal, otherwise intact. Falmouth here was one of ours. Was hit by a torpedo from an FI-142 off of Europa, but she lived. Victorious, one of the most damaged carrier on our side. She did get hit by 3 bombs from Ju-134s off of Grunau, but they were only 300-pound bombs, and yeah, they didn't really, I think the fact that they're small bombs and our armor saved us. Victorious not really badly damaged at all in the end. Peter Strasser here, hit by a missile from a Typhoon off of Illustrious. There must have been 2 more carriers back with the main force that I just never saw. I guess you could, well, the battleships kind of sacrificed themselves for the carriers, but I'm not sure that was the right move. Lion, in the end, despite a prolonged gunnery engagement with 4 different capital ships, hit by a total of 3 12-inch shells from Schleswig-Holstein, and otherwise only by 6-inch and 4-inch, plus by 1 torpedo from, was it aerial or was it from a destroyer? I don't actually know. It was by a destroyer, Z-87. But I think we sank Z-87. Yes, we did. So, yeah, it's actually minimal damage in the end. I mean, and we sank Z-87 in return, albeit mostly because of a bomb off of Formidable. That was the Lion. Tiger took a few more big hits. 12-inch, 14-inch, 15-inch, 16. Oh, look at her. Hit by all 4 German capital ships. Oh, well, it was a near miss from Prince Regent Luitpold, actually, but scored 67 hits in exchange for the 7 she took. Also hit by various 6-inch. I don't think that phased her much. She's pretty much fully intact as well. Lion 44 hits for the 3 she took. Majestic and Rodney did get hammered in the end. I mean, their armor is just not as good, and they're not as modern or as fast, so, well. Majestic here was hit by 6 heavy shells from Prince Regent Luitpold, and mainly Tirpitz. Got about 5 of them, it looks like. And that did take out a turret and caused some pretty considerable flotation damage. Oh, and she was hit by a torpedo from an FI-142. But she came through all of it and is still intact. Rodney, a lot of structural damage, not so much flotation. 5 heavy shells from, looks like it's mostly Schleswig-Holstein, 1 from Tirpitz. Yeah, I think Schleswig-Holstein did the most damage to us, despite me dismissing her completely all battle. She was also hit by several near-miss missiles, but I think near-miss missiles do basically nothing. Near-miss bombs at least can cause some damage. 1 missile hit from an FI-142 off of Osonia, and 1 1,400-pound bomb to the superstructure from a DO-143B off of Grunau. Huge structural damage. That's going to have her in dry dock for a while, but she's alright. And sunk 6 German capital ships. Seydlitz, a 21,800-ton Graf Zeppelin class carrier. She must have been with the main fleet, and the air attack absolutely flattened her. From 10:52 to 10:54 a.m., aka in the space of 2 minutes, she was hit by a missile from a Typhoon off of Formidable, which hit the conning tower and started a fire, as well as presumably taking her out of command. A missile from a Typhoon off of Ark Royal, which damaged the guns and started a conflagration among fueled aircraft. A 500-pound bomb to the superstructure from a Typhoon off of Victorious, which destroyed aircraft in the hangar. A missile to the superstructure from a Typhoon off of Ark Royal, which spread the fire. And a missile to one of the 5-inch gun turrets from a Typhoon off of Ark Royal. So 4 missiles from Typhoons and a 500-pound bomb in the course of 2 minutes. The fire was level 8 immediately afterwards, and they got it down to 6 at some point. Mismanaged equipment. Rose to 9 and 8 and back a few times, but basically 40 minutes after those 4 missiles and a bomb, she sank from fires raging out of control. A classic tale for an aircraft carrier, really. Schleswig-Holstein, a 41,000-ton battleship armed with 12-inch guns. She was hit by no air attack, to be fair. Well, okay, I see torpedo engine room hit Botha from Illustrious. Oh, that first torpedo was an air attack. Gotcha. She was hit by a torpedo to the engine room from a Botha off of Illustrious, which certainly is part of what has helped slow her down. But then Lion and Tiger pretty much pulverized her to all appearances before, with her already crippled, Rodney and Majestic stepped in to finish the job. She was sinking halfway through here. Radar disabled. I think she had bigger problems at that point. She was hit by 56 14 and 16-inch shells, along with 2 torpedoes, 1 aerial and 1 from HMS Oak, and nearly 200 5 and 6-inch shells, and 9-inch. I mean, the torpedo helped, but frankly, yeah, the battle cruisers and battleships did most of the work on Schleswig-Holstein and just put her down hard. Prinz Regent Luitpold, a 32,000-ton battleship with a 15-inch belt, 4-inch deck, and 9 14-inch guns. Just kind of slow. She was hit by a missile from a Typhoon off of Victorious. She actually got that fully under control, but then fared pretty badly. She scored 2 hits and took 46 14 and 16-inch hits in battle with... Well, Lion and Tiger got a couple hits, but it looks like it's mostly... Well, no, then it switched back to Tiger. I don't know. Pretty much all of our ships were shooting at her at some point, and that really is the story of the day, is... They never formed a proper battle line after it kind of broke up under air attack, and they just got pulverized one after another by us. And another one that halfway through the list of hits is sinking from just piles of 14 and 16-inch gunfire. And 2 torpedoes from Oak and 1 from Nemesis at the end, but she was long dead by then anyway. 46 heavy hits. The carrier, Derflinger. This is one of the big 34,300-ton Peter Strasser class carriers with 68 aircraft. She shot down a couple of aircraft with her AA, but then took a 500-pound, almost at exactly the same time too, a 500-pound bomb to a turret from a Typhoon. That didn't phase her too much, but then 15 minutes later, the second wave got to her with a Botha off of Formidable hitting her with a torpedo, then another 500-pound bomb to the superstructure from a Typhoon off of Glorious, and in the end, I mean, the torpedo didn't really phase her that much. It's pretty much this one 500-pound bomb which started a fire, fueled aircraft explode twice, and after 2.5 hours of battling the fire, Peter Strasser sinks. Oh my god, a 4-inch flight deck, Germany? Is that accurate? That's crazy that she had a 4-inch flight deck and one 500-pound bomb put her down. If true. That seems insane. That's so much. For 34,000 tons? I guess it's not a whole lot of aircraft for 34,000 tons, to be fair. I think I have 85 on my similarly sized carriers, but still. Wow. Tirpitz. Probably, in hindsight, actually the scariest German battleship in a melee with 9 16-inch guns and a 5.5-inch deck. But to her extreme misfortune, right as she was starting to engage Lion and Tiger, A Botha off of HMS Irresistible hit her in the rudder with a torpedo, and in the very same moment, Typhoons off of Glorious hit her with 4 500-pound bombs, 3 of which hit the engine room. And that's why she didn't take much part in the battle, because the torpedo followed by 3 torpedo to the rudder followed by 3 500-pound bombs to the engine room pretty much completely disabled her ability to move for a prolonged period, right as she was starting to engage us. And we didn't really follow. Well, of course, I didn't know that had happened, but we didn't really follow up. I mean, she did get hit by various 16 and 14-inch fire, and she had a lot of flooding problems already, but it wasn't really until, I mean, she finally eventually fixed it all half an hour to an hour later, and obviously she was already damaged, but it wasn't until an hour to an hour and a half later that Rodney and Tiger and Lion closed in and actually finished her off. But I don't think she was ever fighting at her best after that first round of hits. And here she is sinking halfway through. I mean, and Crusader hit her with 3 more torpedoes to finish her off in the end, but 49, 14, and 16-inch hits, 4 500-pound bombs, and 4 torpedoes, plus 155 and 6-inch just for fun. Bye-bye, Tirpitz. And finally, the biggest ship in the German fleet, SMS Pommern, 59,000 tons, albeit a lot of that going into her speed. And she actually didn't get hit from the air at all. We straight up put her down with 49, 14, and 16-inch shells. No torpedoes ever either, not even from the destroyers. Just Tiger. Tiger did a lot of the early work, yeah. Tiger, Lion, Majestic, and Rodney just absolutely hammered Pommern out of existence first. Apparently fires are what really did her in, but wow, fires really are what did her in, you know, because she didn't have that much flotation damage yet. I think she was pretty damn crippled anyway, but fires are what did her in, apparently. So that's just, I mean, the war's not over. Germany still has 4 very large and scary battle cruisers and at least, I think it's probably actually 7 more fleet carriers. At least 6. But they just lost a huge chunk of their battle line. I'm curious, wow, we could have easily run into them in the night. Oh my god. When we ended the battle, we were only 20 nautical miles from 2 carriers and 2 battle cruisers. Yeah, that is not a Hessen-class dreadnought game. It's just not. It's this, with the 17-inch guns and the 5-inch deck. 5-inch deck. Yeah, these would be pretty nasty for the Tigers to handle one-on-one, to be honest. With the 8 17-inch guns and the 5-inch deck. Although taking out just 1 turret would cut their firepower by half. I mean, it's taking it to the extremes to only have 2 turrets. Pretty nasty, though. I don't know what would have happened if we'd run into these guys, honestly. I mean, if this carrier force had run into them, we would have just been dead, probably. Although there's enough destroyers here to maybe try to do something in the dark. Their carriers, at least, probably wouldn't have survived. Yeah, apparently their whole fleet was just running into the coast of Iceland by the end. Well, that's that. That is just a crushing, humiliating defeat for the Nazis.
Thanks for watching, sailors. Hope you enjoyed. New parts will be up every other day, or you can watch live on Twitch. If you did enjoy, consider leaving a like and subscribing. Have a nice day, sailors. This is Sea Lord Jenda, signing off.